Thank you.
Roll call, ladies, will take place tomorrow at 10:30. We'll have ladies not required for that for practice. And the event will be broadcast on Gold TV tomorrow morning starting at ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The finals of the BPAA Women's All-Stars. Ladies, when you're at the period, you may begin your tournament competition. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice round of applause for the ladies on the squad. Ladies, you're ready to know. You're ready to bowl.
All right, welcome back. We are ready to get started with our final 8 games of match play here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Competition. We've already bowled 8 games in round-robin match play. The second 8 games taking place this evening with the top 5 advancing to the stepladder finals tomorrow right here live on Bowl TV at noon Eastern Time. Standings coming into game number 9. Diana Zavialova of Latvia leading by just 6 pins over lefty Shannon Pluhowski. And then you've got Liz Johnson in 3rd place. She's about 170 pins back or so of first. Sandra Luthold in 4th place, and she is 260 pins off of the lead. Kelly Kulik in 5th, just a couple of pins behind Cassandra, and then Alicia Current 6th, Jody Westner 7th, Deandra Asbady in 8th place, Shannon O'Keefe 9th, and Wendy McPherson in 10th. And we are live at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. Again, for the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament, I'm Lucas Wiseman of Bowl TV. Matt Cannizzaro here as well. Matt working on finishing up his story on Paul Vidal winning the senior portion of this week's event, this senior women's U.S. Open, a little bit earlier right here on Bowl TV. So good evening, Matthew. Welcome back.
Glad to be back. It's been an exciting day already.
Yeah, still got a long way to go here. 8 games. Probably going to take a little more than 3.5 hours to bowl, with the position round in the final game to determine our finalists for the stepladder finals tomorrow. Feel free to post the link to the live stream on Facebook and Twitter. Spread the word about our live coverage today here on Bowl TV. Our matchups out of the gate here in this second round of match play. Allie Ijams against Danielle McEwen, and Alicia Current against Diana Zavialova. Our featured matches. A total of 16 players left in the tournament. Round robin match play. If you're not familiar, every bowler bowls the other bowlers in the field 1 time. That makes up 15 of the games, and then game 16 is a position round. Obviously 1 bowls 2, 3 bowls 4, 5 bowls 6, etc. And we should have the 3 versus 4 and 5 versus 6 matches for you here on the featured pairs in that position round a little bit later on this evening.
Well, Lucas, our leader, Diana Zavilova, not off to the start she was hoping for here. I'm sure back-to-back opens here in game number 1.
Yeah, and remember you get 30 bonus pins for a victory, 15 for a tie, and you don't get anything if you lose. Alicia Current was the best in, I should say one of the best in match play record this morning. She went 7-1. Shannon Plowski also went 7-1. It's a big reason why Alicia Current is still in the hunt in 6th place, just one position out of the stepladder at this point. Looks like another open might be coming for Diana if she can convert the washout. Danielle McHugh in 3rd frame, mixes it up for a strike. Now remember, the fresh this morning was pretty brutal. The scores were very low early on, so we'll have to see if that continues. In fact, it took, I think, the first game we had maybe two doubles out of the 2 pairs that we had on live streaming. So we've already had 1 double, but Diana's got 3 opens to start off here, and in jeopardy of falling out of that number 1 position for the first time since she took the lead on Wednesday.
Shannon Plahowski was trying to track her down all morning.
Yeah, right now Shannon's technically ahead of her. If you took a snapshot.
She was just staying a few pins ahead. Shannon was creeping and creeping, and single digits now, I believe, going into this,
it was 6.
The 2nd block today. So yeah, Shannon clean through 3. And yes, technically your current leader.
Of course, not official till after the game ends, but we'll see where it stands. But again, Diana off to a shaky start here to open the evening session. She still has a pretty good cushion over 6th place, which is what you kind of want to look at in terms of staying in the top 5. Diana is more than 300 pins ahead of Alicia Current, who's in 6th. But you know, there's 30 bonus pins, and Alicia's got the front 4 right now, and that gap starts closing pretty quick. And before you know it, she can make up more than 100 pins in 1 game at this rate.
Well, Alicia's made the big shots before. She's been there, finished 2nd at the 2011 USBC Queens, off to Missy Parkin. And Alicia's been rolling along all day long. Doesn't show a lot of emotion. Just going about her business and doing her thing. And another great start for her. So enjoyed this match. See if Diana can get something moving here. 3 opens to start. Leaves a 4 pin there. Up on lane 9 is Allie James, talented college player at Wichita State. Getting a lot of experience this week here at the All-Star. Led the first squad and hung around the top throughout the week. And currently in 16th place, but getting valuable experience and trying to work her way up a little bit here in the standings. A lot can happen in 8 games. We saw pretty much every game besides that top spot this morning. A lot of movement. Liz Johnson had a great finish this morning. Ended very strong. So at 279, followed that up with a 246 game. And found her way into the 3rd position. Still well over 100 back from Pluhowski and Diana. But we've seen some roller coaster scores for sure on this challenging 39-foot pattern. And first strike of the day, of the evening, for Zavilova. She won last year's Queens. Also national champion at Weber International. McEwen, two-time USBC Team USA Trials winner. Looking to make it 4 in a row here. She's down in 14th place, so has a whole lot of work to do. Terrible break there with the A pin. And her run at 3 in a row, but she's got a 20-pin lead here over iJams. Alicia Current's string ended with a 10-pin.
She's cruising along here, though. She's up 64 pins after 5 frames.
Nice little crowd on hand. Everybody home from work now, coming by. All the local bowling fans, autograph seekers. It's going to get exciting later tonight. We'll have 7 games of match play and then a position round. Top 5 players will advance to tomorrow's stepladder finals. Got a nice break for Current. Rolls the 3-pin.
Just tuning in, you're watching our live coverage of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. This is the 9th of 16 games of round-robin match play. Just underway with our first game of the evening session. By the end of this day, we will know who the 5 finalists are for the stepladder finals, which will take place tomorrow, live right here on Bowl TV at noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central.
iJams like that shot. However, the pins did not cooperate. She's looking at the 4-9. She's going to fall farther behind. Zavilova still trying to get something going. She's not in good position to make a run at winning this match, but every pin certainly very important here. She's trying to maintain her lead over Pluhowski.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately for Diana not going to remain the case. Shannon's going to, looks like she's going to take the lead for the first time, I don't know, probably in the tournament, huh? It's hard to say for sure. I would think so. I don't think Shannon's been in the lead at any point during the week. Allie covers up the split.
Well, still a lot of game left here. Diana still has 205 out there.
Yeah, Plahowski's got a Dutch 200 going this game. And she just
splits,
so
yeah,
you never know.
Long way to go.
It doesn't really matter who's in the lead after game 8 anyway, or game 9 anyway. So it's who's there at the end of the day that matters the most. Danielle McEwen leading Allie iJams by 27 pins. As they wrap up the 7th frame in that one. We're wrapping up the 7th frame between Current and Zavialova, and it's a big lead for Alicia Current. Alicia up 64 pins with 3 frames to go here in our opening game of the evening. Current shooting the 3-4-6-7 split. Pretty makeable split here. Almost gets it. Leaves that 4-pin standing up though. She could afford an open in this match, but trying to get as many pins as possible to stay in the hunt for the top 5. Diana finds a double out there, so maybe she's reversed her fortunes a bit.
She always seems to find a way. Maybe just a slow starter, but getting a little momentum here. Nice match down on the far end. Kulik and Liz Johnson. Kelly, 20 pins ahead. She can shoot 240. Liz can be in the 220, so again, Liz had a nice run at the end of the last block to get up to 3rd place. So with the way Pluhowski and Zabulova are starting here, Liz Johnson can make a move at the top spot in the next game or so.
There's going to be a lot of people in the mix for sure.
Going to be dramatic. That's what the fans want.
Well, Diana's back with 3 consecutive strikes. I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility for Diana to still win this game if she strikes out for 2 out of 5. I mean, it's
certainly didn't look that way after 6 frames. So as long as it's possible on paper, I guess you don't want to count it too soon.
Well, Alicia lucky she didn't leave the 10 on that one. She needs to pick this up and get another mark in the 10th to shut out Diana. Shannon Pluhowski's working on a double heading into the 10th. And she's actually trailing in that match, so she may not win. Pulling Wendy McPherson over there, down by 6.
So much happened in 3 frames. We spoke way too soon.
Yeah. Things changed pretty quickly for sure, but like I said, it doesn't matter who's in the lead after 9 games. It matters at the end of the night.
Lucas Kern still needs a mark.
Yep, mark to shut Diana out here. The opening game of the evening.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't see it because she was in the way, but that didn't sound good.
No, she got it left off her hand. She knew it. Left at 310. Baby split. So this one spun around in a hurry. Diana gets something going. Current was comfortable. She has to have this one to win this game.
Yeah, if she doesn't make it, Diana certainly has a chance. And she covers it up.
Well, just needs to
few
get
pins.
4 pins. Yeah.
No problem.
No problem. I don't know. We've seen quite a few gutter balls this week. Some of the players, some were trying to play outside, some weren't.
I think Alicia is changing balls here on the fill, which is always wise.
It's enough, but
Yep.
it wasn't pretty. 210.
For Alicia Current. She shuts out Diana here. Alicia continuing to win matches. 8-1. Pretty good record.
Yeah, those bonus pins certainly coming into play for her, climbing her way from 14th place now into the top 5.
Yeah, 240 is a whole game basically in bonus pins already. Wendy McPherson split in the 10th, so Shannon Plahowski won the game. So Shannon Plahowski is going to be your new leader after 9 games. As Diana steps up to close out game 9 here. It was a rough start, but she's really come on strong here down the stretch.
Yeah, she's in real good position, Lucas, with her lead here, at least over 3rd place right now. So just a couple of big games, maybe just stay clean even, and we'll probably see her tomorrow. She was already talking earlier about equipment and not necessarily needing a new ball today, but she said maybe for tomorrow we'll talk about that one. So very confident, clearly expecting to be there, and she keeps throwing shots like the last 4. She certainly will.
She's trying to put on a pretty good save here on this game. And even though she doesn't strike on that shot, I think that coming away with 190 after the start is pretty solid. Allie Ijam's finishing things up in that match. Danielle McEwen with 211. Allie going to be in the 180s maximum. Diana finishes with 192. I think if you would have told her she could shoot 192 after starting with 3 consecutive opens, she probably would have taken it. So the bowlers are going to move and get ready for game number 10 here. Should be getting started in just a couple of minutes once Allie finishes up her game here. Allie with the spare, so she's going to be in the 180s. And game 10 should get started here in just a minute or 2.
All right, so that one ends with McEwen 211, Allie Ijams 184. Allie with just 1 win so far today, but again, the youngster of the group. Just graduated from Wichita State. Jen Higgins coming our way. So it's going to be Jody Wessner and Liz Johnson on our right. Higgins and Pluhowski on our left. So tournament leader, Shannon Pluhowski. See if she can tack on a few more pins here. She's going to start the match on the left lane. Wessner led this event for the first 2 rounds, and she is 7th coming into this round of match play. Pluhowski starts with a strike. Again, she's the only left-hander left in the field now. Started the week with 75 for the BPAA All-Star. After 18 games, we cut to the top 16. And that's all that remains after tonight. Only 5. As soon as we get the new standings, we will read those out. They're also actually up on the scoreboard. You'll see in between the players' names. That is still only after this morning's block. So they do update pretty quick. Do appreciate everybody stopping by, checking out tonight's broadcast. We've been at it all day long. A lot of great action. Saw 8 games of all-star match play, followed by the championship round of the Senior Women's U.S. Open, and then the Triple Crown Shootout. Alright, so again, all these players bowled 18 games of qualifying. Top 16 bowling round robin match play, pin to carry over, 30 bonus pins for each win, and those proving to be very important, especially to Alicia Current, who has worked her way up today with an 8-1 record. From 14th place into the top 5. So it looks like the scores are coming through now. And they don't appear to be correct, so we'll give that a minute. Howski looking to make it 4 in a row now. Gets that one back, mixes him up. She is on a roll today. Alright, looked like we had a bit of an issue with the scoring, so they're going to check that out. We're going to watch some bowling. Pluhowski with the front 5. Shout out to Chris and Stephanie Johnson at home, watching some of the best women in the world. Stephanie, of course, should be here, but the recent birth of their son Levi, keeping her at home this time around. Steph, enjoy the break, but hurry back soon. And Lucas Wiseman jumping back in. Lucas, they went to check the scores for us. Something didn't look quite right, but in the meantime,
I just got them handed to me. Although, let's say something here. Okay, well, he's going to go verify those scores again.
I brought it back over there. It didn't look right. So either way, we're gonna watch some bowling. Jen Higgins trying to hang in there.
They'll get it all sorted out. I'm gonna guess something to do with the bonus pins. It's messing it up, but they'll get it fixed. Have no fear. John Lucido knows what he's doing back there, so should be fine. There's a double for Liz Johnson. She's up by 22 on Jody Wessner this game, halfway through. Shannon Pluhowski looking pretty solid so far this game. Shannon 8-1 in match play thus far. Looking to go 9-1 with another win here against Jen Higgins.
Well, keep throwing shots like that. So we don't want to call it too soon. We did that a little bit earlier, but.
All right, let's try this again. Shannon Pluhowski in the lead, 59-75. Diana Zavialova, 59-48. So that would be a difference of 27 pins. And then Liz Johnson in third at 58-12. So Liz 163 off the lead. Kelly Kulik in fourth at 57-51, and that would be 224 pins off the lead. Cassandra Luthold in fifth, and she is 250 pins off the lead. And Alicia Current, 6th place, 56-86. That is almost 300 pins off the lead. Shannon O'Keefe, 7th. Jody Wessner, 8th. Deandra Spady, 9th. Wendy McPherson in 10th. John Lucido says, my apologies to the viewers. Someone from the center changed the settings on the results. So there you go. All fixed now and good to go the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think what it actually did, it only added the bonus pins. It didn't add any of the other
Is that what it
score.
did?
Pretty sure.
Okay, well, it's all sorted out now. So we should be good to go. Shannon Pluhowski with the front 7 here, trying to give us a little of extra excitement in Game 10. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our stepladder finals of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament, starting at noon Eastern Time, 9 Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Time here in Rockford. We will will be live tomorrow morning. That will be just like a TV show, only on Bowl TV. Same quality bowling. We'll have a camera down the lane. At least that's the plan. And
same quality bowling. Can't say so much about the announcers.
Exactly. We don't have the fancy graphics or the fancy haircuts like Dave Lamont, Chris Barnes, but we can at least bring you the bowling action. That's for sure, and we'll have a good time doing it. Much more informal here on Bowl TV. So sometimes and no commercials. That's another thing that's a bonus.
So right before you came back, we were checking in with Chris and Stephanie Johnson, and they got it up on the big screen. I told him hopefully you got it with the sound off.
Well, I'm sure they're turning the little guy into a bowling fan already, a Bowl TV fan, and maybe his first words will be Bowl TV when he starts talking. We have a new honorary member of the Bowl TV team. Jersey Asbeatty joined the team this week. Posed for a picture with Matt and I. She's old enough to talk. We'll have to have her on Bowl TV for an interview. And there's Shannon Pluhowski now with the front 8. And I tell you, that's something special, because we haven't seen too many people get that far into a game with consecutive strikes.
Between the two of us, I don't know how many different countries we've seen her string strikes in, but
a lot.
There's quite a few over the last 10 or 12 years. Watched her bowl 300 at the Open Championships, the 9th woman in history to do that. And she goes high there, leaves the 4-7.
That was a good run. I mean, it's just going to be real tough for anybody to shoot 300 here on this very, very tough pattern.
Well, if she can close this one out, though, the 100 pins, I bet she'll take that over anything at this point.
Liz Johnson had a nice lead early on in this game, but Jody Wessner has come roaring back 4 strikes in a row. Closing out our second game of this evening block, game number 10 overall. Higgins bowling a pretty good game here, but not anywhere near the game that Shannon Pluhowski has bowled. Jody Wessner, 9th frame, leading by 11 on Liz Johnson. She packs a strike in the 9th. Congratulations again to Paula Vidal on her win this afternoon at the Senior Women's U.S. Open right here live on Bowl TV. Had almost 1,000 live viewers for that stepladder finals. Hope that you will all join us tomorrow for the stepladder finals of this event, the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament, getting underway at noon Eastern. Live from Cherry Bowl here in Rockford, Illinois. Great center. John Anderson, the center manager. John Summer, the proprietor here. Staff great. Everything's run pretty smoothly so far. Great hosts, of course. Have hosted a lot of tournaments over the years here at the Cherry Bowl. Pleasure to be here once again. Plahowski looking to close out this game in style. She can get to 278. Look at that. Slapping that 10 pin around. So not only is Shannon going to stay in the lead, and she's going to build on that lead here this game with such a huge game. 278 max, 30 bonus pins, 108 over in one game is incredible on this tough pattern. Bowling pretty quick here on the featured pairs. Danielle McEwen and Cassandra Leuthold still have 3.5 frames to bowl next door. 276 for Shannon Plahowski.
Well, that's what happens when you throw more strikes than the two people combined next to you.
That's right. 202 for Liz Johnson, and Jody Westner is going to win this game. Five pin paralyzed for Westner. It's tough right there. So she'll shoot the spare. Got enough to win the game, but Jody is sitting in 8th place. Not that far behind 5th. Trying to get all she can here. Wins are nice, but she could have shot 230. That would have been even better. Instead, she's going to be at 216 as a max score. We're started with our next game here. Brittany Hamilton against Liz Johnson. Jen Higgins against Wendy McPherson. Game number 11 overall. Liz makes a nice run at the big four there. Gets 3 of them, leaves the 4-pin standing.
We are moving along. Game 11, 3 of the evening. Underway already.
Just waiting on the updated standings to come in here in just a moment. Had a couple of pairs that were a little bit slower, but everybody's done now, so we should have the updated standings any minute. We know that Shannon Plahowski's still in the lead and increased her lead a little bit that game. All right, John Lucido dropping off standings. Looks like Shannon Plahowski has gone up by 140 pins on Diana Zavialova now. Liz Johnson in 3rd place. Liz is about 270 pins off the lead. Kelly Kulik in 4th. Jody Westner now in 5th place. And it's still very tight for sure, and a lot of people still in the hunt to make the top 5. currently got about 100 pins separating 5th from 11th place. And with games 11 through 16 to go with 30 bonus pins for wins, that's not very much. So a lot of people still in the mix to make the top 5. Liz Johnson looking for a double 4th frame. Packs it in there. Back-to-back strikes, down by 1. Jen Higgins missed a single pin in the first, strike in the second, trailing by 11. Leaves the 2-8. Well, of the players on the featured pairs right now, Liz Johnson is highest in the standings in 3rd place. The other 3 battling to stay relevant in this tournament, really. Got Wendy McPherson in 9th place, Jen Higgins in 12th, and Brittany Hamilton in 14th.
Still 180 bonus pins out there even. And you mentioned only 100 or so pins separating 5th and 11th, I think, so a couple of games like Shannon Puhowski and Liz Johnson have been bowling, and nobody's out of it.
One of the local TV stations showed up again tonight. Had good coverage on local TV and in the newspaper here in Rockford.
So definitely the benefit of the smaller town, and we see that with our big events, the Open Championships, Women's Championships. They really latch on to the events in the 2nd tier population cities. Yeah, a lot of great coverage this week.
Yeah, Rockford is market number 135. Reno, for example, is about 106, I think, something like that. Of course, New York being number 1, Los Angeles being number 2, and it kind of ranks that way in terms of media markets. So it's a pretty small town. There's not really any major league sports here, or even minor league, really. I mean, there's one baseball team that's not even single A, but you got Chicago that's really just an hour away, so they're pretty close to all the big stuff out there. But very hyper-local coverage here in this market, and we've been very fortunate that they've found our tournament worthy to come out and do some coverage of, so pretty awesome stuff. Nice to be able to go back to the room each night and turn on the local news and see some coverage of the tournament.
Well, you mentioned the young lady here from the newspaper, that you remember her from the collegiate events, and it's been a few years actually since
that's right.
They were here. The ITCs in 2009, I believe, was the last time. So
yeah, Brenda Young from the Rockford Stars, been out here covering the tournament.
So it's a place that people come and they like to stay, I guess. And they have Culver, so.
They do, yeah.
I mean, that's enough to make anybody stay.
Higgins trailing by 13. Hamilton down by 21. As we're moving along here in our evening session of round robin match play. Five more games to go after this one. Everything wraps up with the position round this evening. That's going to be our final game. And I expect that we will have positions 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the featured pairs for the last game. Hopefully we'll have some drama going into the last game for who makes the finals, and I would expect that we would. Things are pretty close. You know, Matt, it almost feels like some other bowlers are playing even further right than they were this morning to start. Everybody's really gravitated right a little bit. Liz with 5 strikes in a row, playing pretty far out. Take a look where Wendy McPherson's playing here. She's working on a double. I think you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, we talked about that earlier again with this this flatter condition. Straight ear's greater. So
yeah, Wendy didn't throw that one very good.
It's really pretty simple. You know, you want to get the straightest line of the pocket, minimize your margin for error, and then especially on the fresh, and then as they break down, you'll have some room towards the outside part of the lane for the players with more hand are able to migrate left, like the Kelly Kulicks of the world. And then players like Liz Johnson can just throw it harder. So,
but listen, no matter where you're throwing it, you're going to have to throw it well to strike because the lanes are pretty tough. There's not much area out there. They're going to have to clear that dead wood on the lane for Liz.
Well, and then in the story that we just posted about Paula Vidad winning the senior event, she was actually watching Danielle McEwen and saw Danielle have a pretty good look outside, and she tried it in match play and it worked out. She went 6-2, climbed to the top of the step ladder, and then was able to play out there and win, just kind of firing it off the corner. And the more the players play out there, probably the better the look's going to get. Hamilton trying to make a run here after the Liz Johnson Open, but unable to capitalize. goes high and leaves a 4-7 after their double. So at best she'll be down 7. Certainly put the pressure on Liz with a big 10th frame. Except that Liz will finish first, so please scratch that last comment.
Keep up the good work over there, Matthew.
Multitasking.
Liz up 7. Frame and a half to go. Wendy makes her spare after the open at 6. She leads by 8. Nice shot by Liz. Liz looking to punch out, secure the win here in game 11 overall. Nice shot by Wendy. Liz with a double. It's going to put her in the 220s. Should be enough to lock up the win.
Liz finishes with the last 4 for 232. Shuts out Hamilton. Best she can do is 215. Husky finishes with 192. Shannon O'Keefe gets a good count and a mark. And she will win that match. So no runaway leader here at the All-Star. It's going to be an exciting few games coming up here tonight. Thanks for joining us. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Lucas Wiseman. I haven't called you Aaron Smith one time all day.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, it's another big game for Liz Johnson. She continues to bowl well and stay up there near the top of the standings. Third place coming into this game. Shannon Plahowski only bowled a 192. And she may lose this game, so Liz may gain some ground on Plahowski here.
It is more than very likely Shannon O'Keefe will take that game. The battle of the Shannons.
Yeah, Shannon just needs 8 pins on 2 balls, but seems pretty likely to me. 232 to 203. Brittany Hamilton loses that game to Liz Johnson. Got Wendy McPherson shooting the split. It's an open frame in the 9th. She leads by 9 going into the 10th. Neither of these players could really afford a game this low, though. Well, Jen's going to have a chance to come back and win this game. If she strikes out, she could shoot 180, and Wendy's going to be at 179. So McPherson is going to win this game, as she'll shoot 179. Jen Higgins can only get to 170. All right, so just waiting for our next game to get started. Not sure who we'll have, but shouldn't be long.
The element of surprise. So while we wait, hang tight. We do appreciate it. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Game 11. 5 more games to go until we know who's going to be on tomorrow's stepladder finals. Four other matches still wrapping up here, so appreciate your patience. Kelly Kulik defeats Jody Wessner 213 to 167. Kelly still in it. She was fourth coming into game 11, so she'll pick up another 43 pins there. Jody was right behind her in fifth place. We'll have the latest standings for you as soon as they become available. Game 12 coming right up. All right, here come the players. This game we're going to see Deandra Asbeatty against USBC Hall of Famer Wendy McPherson. They'll be on lanes 9 and 10 here at the Cherry Bowl. And 11 and 12. Still no scoreboard yet. It's going to be a surprise. Alright, Deandra stopping by to say hello, knowing that she is right there. Before that last game, she was 8th. But only about 50 pins away from that 5th spot. So it is very tight here with a whole bunch of games to go. And we are underway. Wendy McPherson, Deandra Asbeatty. On our left and on the right, tournament leader Shannon Pluhowski taking on 2011 Queen's champion Missy Parkin. Shannon tops the standings with a 64-73 total. Diana Zavialova is second with 64-17. Liz Johnson, a bit of a distant third at 62-76. So those top two pulling away a little bit here. And then Kelly Kulik in fourth, 100 pins behind Liz Johnson, 61-74. Rounding at the top five, Cassandra Luthold, 61-31. So Shannon O'Keefe, Jody Wessner, Alicia Current, Wendy McPherson, Deandra Asbeatty, and Missy Parkin, all very close. I think they all know it's going to take a big game to get there, but it's all within reach, especially with the 30 bonus pins and the roller coaster of scores we've seen so far. Got the lone left-hander in the field, the front runner. Certainly is going to be exciting as we wind down here at the Cherry Bowl. We do appreciate everybody spending part of their Thursday night with us. Very nice crowd in the chat room. Appreciate everybody. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to share those in the chat room. If you'd like a recap of the week's action, check us out on bowl.com. Daily recaps, photos, a lot of good discussions on Facebook and Twitter. Only 11 pins right now separate 9th from 6th place. So if you're a bowling fan, if you're nearby, come out and watch in person. Zabulova way down on the far end of this center. Right now we're using lanes 3 through 24. 3 through 22. Lasky gets that one left, leaves it 3-9. Saw her have the front 8 on 9 and 10 a couple games ago. Got a question in the chat room. What is the WYC? And I believe you're referring to the World Youth Championships. That will be taking place first half of August in Hong Kong. We'll have that for you live on Bowl TV. Right now you're watching the top 16 here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. At the end of this evening, we'll have just 5 players remaining for tomorrow's stepladder finals. That'll take place at noon Eastern, right here on Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro, Lucas Wiseman here as well. We've been on this crazy ride. This is day number 4, and we're looking forward to bringing it home tomorrow as we crown a champion here at the All-Star. Bit of a celebration this week of women's bowling. This is kind of where it all began, here in Rockford, Illinois. The Cherry Bowl. A lot of great memories here for some of these ladies, both from their touring days and some from their collegiate times. Spare for Deandra. She's got a 10-pin lead over Wendy Mack. Pluhowski down 10 to Missy Parkin. Still early, just the halfway point of game number 12. It's been a long week, a lot of games for these players, certainly getting their money's worth. 18 games of qualifying, 16 games of match play. One pair to our left, Liz Johnson. 6 for 6, all 9 counts. She is trying to battle her way to the top of the leaderboards. Missy Parkin looking for 3 in a row. And she rings a 10-pin. So again, Carrie a challenge here this week as Liz and Missy are there proved. Liz finally strikes for the first time here in the 7th frame. However, she does hold a 10-pin lead over Allie Ijams. Curious about the standings. They're actually scrolling across the scoreboards there. Right in between the players' names. And the final recap tonight on bowl.com. Final standings up on BPAA.com/tournaments. Pluhowski trying to get the momentum back in her favor here. It's 3 in a row for her. Shout out to her sister Tiffany at home on the edge of her seat. Seeing if Shannon can hold on here, make the step ladder for tomorrow. The rest of the family's been here all week, cheering her on in person. Parkin with back-to-back 10 pins. Falls behind now. She is in 11th place, but top 5 still within reach. McPherson trying to track down the baby split here. And she does. So she has a 4-pin lead over Asbeidi after 6 frames. Not a high-scoring match. Both of them in the mix here, currently 9th and 10th in the standings. Pin for Wendy Mack. Open frame for Parkin. Opportunity for Pluhowski to end this one early. Seems like the more we're bowling, the lower the scores are going for some of the players. We thought the lanes would open up a little bit. At least on the lower side, that's the opposite of what we're seeing here. Danielle McEwen working on a 250 game in a win over Kelly Kulik. So it's going to be a nice jump in the standings for Danielle. Pluhowski doubles. Double and a 10th will give Pluhowski 240 plus. This Parkin possible 212 here. Deandra and Wendy just trading spares at this point. Somebody can catch a quick double here. That likely will be the difference. In the mixer for Deandra. The foundation frame there, so Wendy's gonna have to match her to maintain her 4-pin lead. Nice break there for Parkin. She's not going to win this match, but every pin certainly will help along the way. She rolls the 4 for the double. Wendy Mack answers. Wendy still up 4 heading into the 10th frame. Wendy can end it here, as she's done so many times in her career. She won the U.S. Open in 1986 at just 18 years old. She trips the 4 for the double. Double. One more strike and count. She can actually shut out as Beatty. Missy finishes with 210. There it is. Wendy sets the stage with the split. She can finish with 201. Deandra's going to have to double. Simple as that. Deandra knows what she needs to do. Throws a good shot. Gets the first one. Kuhowski about to polish off another 240 game. .244 for the Southpaw. And a win over Missy Parkin. Deandra must strike here. Takes the deep breath. She too has thrown the big shots when she needed them. 2012 Queen's Champion, amongst many other things. And the 710 denies her the win over Wendy. So Wendy takes it with a 200 game. And it gets one, finishes with 196. Players are going to switch lanes now. Game number 13 of 16 coming right up. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is Matt Cannizzaro, and you're watching live coverage of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. Nearly our biggest crowd of the day. Thank you all for stopping by here on Bull TV. Get the word out, tell your friends. I know Lucas's goal for today was to get to 1,000 at some point. And here we go. Game 13 underway. Marsha Klumpkin against Kelly Kulik. And on the right, Brittany Hamilton and Alexis I. James. All right, updated standings. These guys don't mess around here. Tournament leader still, Shannon Pluhowski, 67-47, extending her lead over Diana Zabielova. Diana at 66-66. About 80 back. Liz Johnson still in third, 65-08. And we're starting to see some separation here. Kelly Kulik in fourth, 63-78. Shannon O'Keefe now fifth, 63-47. Cassandra Luthold sixth, 63-11. Wendy McPherson in seventh at 63-05. So realistically, with 4 games left, just about everybody has a chance. It's going to take a massive performance by some, but certainly still possible. Looks like we're seeing some ball changes here. These players trying to find that great last hope. It's going to give them the look they need to make a run at this thing. After tonight, only 5 will remain. This week we're pulling on a challenging 39-foot pattern. A little bit flatter. Scores have been significantly low. Took plus 37 to make match play. Just a 202 average. And on the senior side, it took far, far less than that. Lucas Wiseman back in the area. Stepping in. And I'm going to step out. I'll be right back.
All right, Matt. It's like tag team wrestling. Tag me in, and I'm tagging him out. Game 13 of 16 underway here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. We're at the Cherry Bowl, Rockford, Illinois. I'm Lucas Wiseman in now for Matt Kenazar, who stepped out for a bit here. Long day of live streaming at the Cherry Bowl. We've been here since 7 o'clock this morning, so we're just kind of tagging in and out for breaks. in a little bit here this evening as we get some dinner during our final round of match play here. Our top 5 are going to advance to the stepladder finals. Be sure to join us tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific for the stepladder finals right here live on Bowl TV. And we will post that link on our USBC Facebook and Twitter accounts once we go live tomorrow. So if you don't follow us on those platforms, be sure to find us on Facebook.com/USBC and Twitter.com/USBC. I'm sure Matt went through the standings, but I'll go through it again for you here after 12 games. Shannon Plahowski in the lead by just shy of 100 pins over Diana Zavialova. Liz Johnson in third. Liz 240 back of first. Kelly Kulik in fourth place and Shannon O'Keefe in fifth. Brittany Hamilton with the front 4 this game. She's cruising along in game 13. Unfortunately, Brittany down in 13th place, but certainly not out of it if she can put together a big set to close out this final few games of match play here. Front 5, it's not out of the realm of possibility that she can make a run at the top 5. We are here again at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. Our thanks to the staff here at the Cherry Bowl. John Summer, John Anderson, our great staff here helping us out. And of course the BPAA for putting on these events. John Lucido, tournament director here this week, doing a fine job handing us the standings, and apparently even in the chat room. iJams goes high, leaves the 6-10 in the 5th. She trails big halfway through game 13 here. Kelly Kulik on the approach, shooting the 2-pin in the 3rd, trailing by 1 pin against Marcia Klemkin. See if Brittany Hamilton can keep the string going here. Brittany, again, in 13th place. And she is currently 200 pins off the show. So she really needs a few big games. You can see how far right she's playing, and that time leaves the 10 pin. But you know, Brittany shoots 270 or so this game, picks up 30 pins for the win. That's 100 plus 100 in one game right there, and definitely would hack into that 200 pin deficit being off the show.
Certainly been a roller coaster, Lucas, while you're away. We saw Liz Johnson go 7 frames without a strike. 9 spares all the way across.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, carry, once you get to the pocket, it's certainly an issue, and then if you miss, it's definitely not pretty. And for some of us, as you've seen in my career, a single pin is just like a split sometimes.
That's funny. Well, Brittany back on track with a strike in the 7th. 6 out of 7 strikes to start this game for Brittany Hamilton. Team USA member. She will be going to the World Cup a little bit later this year in Poland along with Chris Barnes. I'll be there to live stream it. It's going to be happening early in November. Definitely a tough format, tough lane conditions this week. Makes for a very mentally trying week for these players who bowled 18 games of qualifying, now game 13 of match play. And hoping to make it onto the show to bowl for the title tomorrow. $15,000 for first place on the line tomorrow, right here live on Bowl TV. You know, Matt, that may be the biggest first place prize we've ever, witnessed on Bowl TV. No? Did we have something bigger?
Senior Masters typically.
True, 20, I guess.
16 to
For the
18.
women, it would be the highest.
Certainly, of course.
But you're right, Senior Masters would probably be the exception. Generally, events like this are televised, but no television this year. Hoping that
They get something better.
that's right. You get Matt and Lucas. Hopefully next year when the U.S. Opens return, we'll be able to find some television for those events. That's still to be determined. A lot of information on those events not yet decided. And keep an eye on bowl.com and our USBC, Facebook, and Twitter. Whenever that information becomes available, we'll be the first ones to let you know. Kelly Kulik right in the mix in 4th place, but not bowling a great game this time around. 1 open, 1 strike, and 4 spares. And it just feels like, Matt, as we wrap up game 13, that we've just got a lot of exhausted, mentally drained bowlers out there. This is a real grind for sure. It has been all week. It's not easy bowling this many games on such a tough condition. And Brittany Hamilton with a double. She looks at her finger. I would imagine some of the players' hands look like ground beef at this point. A lot of games to bowl. Brittany's thrown it really well in this game. That is 8 out of 9 strikes this game for Brittany Hamilton. Marsha Klumpkin leading Kelly Kulik by 4 pins, 3.5 frames to go. It's actually a pretty important game for Kelly Kulik. She's right around the number. She's trailing right now Marsha Klumpkin, who's in 15th place. Marsha really kind of out of the picture at this point for the top 5. Kelly trying to hang in there, stay inside the top 5, but again, pretty close. IJM's closing this game out in style. That's three in a row right there. Allie can get to 213 with another strike, but an important 10th frame coming up for Brittany Hamilton. She can punch out for 279, and that would go a long way towards putting her in the mix for the top 5, even though she's down in 13th place coming into this game. Allie finishes with 212. Our other match, Marsha Klumpkin and Kelly Kulik both working on doubles. Marsha stepping up in the 9th, leading by 4. Ring 10 for Kelly. She falls a little bit further behind here. Brittany Hamilton trying to close things out in game 13, and missed chance there to get to the 270. She'll be at about 246 if she gets 1 pin. $65-212. Brittany Hamilton wins this game. Three games to go after this one. It's going pretty quick this evening. position round will be last. That'll be a little bit of a delay between the 7th and 8th games this evening, as they will have to get geared up for the position round and get everything manually set. Diana Zavialova, 246 this game, strike on the fill. So she has put up another big game here.
So Plahowski looks like she just finished in the 190s. So again, it's a whole bunch of leapfrogging going on today, and it's not going to settle until the end of that position round. There's going to be some excitement for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the way things are trending, it looks like Plahowski and Zavialova are looking pretty good to make the show, but nothing is for sure. I mean, with 3 games to go after this, just about anything can still happen. But they're about as close to being locked in as you can get at this point with the way the standings are shaping up. Kelly Kulik's going to take a bit of a hit here, only going to shoot 190 and a lose. She was in the number 4 position. Another strike for Marcia. 4 in a row for her. Strike number 5 for Marcia in a row here. Game 14 coming up next. Just a few games to go, and we'll know our 5 finalists for the stepladder tomorrow. It'll be right here on Bull TV starting at 11 a.m. Central Time. Marcia Klemkin strikes up for 227. Kelly Kulik 191. Oh, we've got Diana Zavialova, Queen Diana Zavialova on the featured pair, taking on Shannon O'Keefe, and Kelly Kulik against Cassandra Leuthold for Game 14. Diana won the Queens 2013 for her first career major title. She's only 22, so not too many opportunities to win majors at that age. She's already got one tucked away. Kelly ready to kick things off here with game 14. Goes a little high, leaves the 4-pin. Just got the updated standings handed to me. Shannon Plahowski still in the lead by 32 pins over Diana Zavialova. Liz Johnson in third, and Liz is 273 pins away from first. Kelly Kulik stays in fourth, but things are really close. Cassandra Luthold only 3 pins back of Kelly coming into this game, as you can see on the. That's one of our featured matches this time around. And Shannon O'Keefe just a few pins back in 6th place. The difference between 2nd and 6th right now is quite a bit. 400 pins. What do you think, Matt? 400 pin advantage for Plahowski and Zavialova going into the final 3 games on 6th place. I think that's...
Gotta feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who's it going to be at this point. Zavialova won the Queens as the top seed back in 2013. So she may be young. She certainly had some success on the big stage along with the Collegiate National Championship.
I know we've had a few people in the chat asking to see the standings, so if you check on my Twitter, I just tweeted a picture of the standing sheet that was just handed to me. So if you want to look at the standings in their entirety, go to my Twitter, which is twitter.com/Lucas_Wiseman. Kelly Kulik with a stuff 9 in the second. Some good matchups here on the featured pairs for this game. Diana in second, and Shannon in 6th, Kelly in 4th, and Cassandra in 5th. So we've got 4 of the top 6 on the featured pairs for this game. As we We are coming down the stretch here. Kelly's staring it down. She cheers to the one person who is clapping in the crowd for her. She gives a wave to him, I should say. Kelly leading by 11 in that match. It's a pretty critical matchup. Shannon O'Keefe with the spare, leads by 1 pin after 3 frames here. Just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. We are live at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Matt Canizaro here as well. We are in game 14 of 16. So just a couple more games to go after this one to determine our 5 finalists for the stepladder, which will take place tomorrow. And again, if you're looking for the standings, I just posted a picture of the standing sheet on my Twitter at Lucas_Wiseman.
It's clever, guy.
Done that before, a time or two. And again, it's twitter.com/Lucas_Wiseman. Or just search for USBC on Twitter. You'll find me, you'll find Matt, you'll find our main account as well. Cassie knew off her hand that that was trouble. A couple of missed single pins for Sandra Luthold here in game 14. And not that there's ever a good time to miss single pins, but with 2.5 games to go in round-robin match play and sitting on the number, kind of bad timing for Cassie to have a couple of mental errors here. Kelly with a double. She pulls even further ahead here. Zavialova down by 1. King of Striker in the chat wants to know what time tomorrow, and we are live at 11 a.m. Central Time, so noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We will be live with the stepladder finals here from Rockford of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament.
Look with the 10 pin there, trying to capitalize on a couple of spare shooting miscues.
Tight match between O'Keefe and Zavialova. It's a 1-pin advantage for Shannon O'Keefe here.
Big double there for Leuthold.
Oh, 9-pin goes down for Kelly Kulik. She left one a few frames ago on that lane, and this time gets it to go. Dinah tied with O'Keefe at this point. Chance for her to take a 10-pin, an 11-pin, 10-pin lead, I should say, with the strike, and she does. That is 3 in a row for Zavialova.
Well, we've been waiting 32 games, and it's finally getting exciting here as we wind down.
Yeah, and I think that it's closing in on a certainty that Zavialova and Plahowski are going to advance to the finals tomorrow, just a matter of what positions. Each game that we wrap up makes the picture a little bit clearer. By the end of the night, we'll have the full picture and know exactly who is in our stepladder finals tomorrow.
So Lucas Kelly kind of just skated along this week and wasn't really one that we talked about very much. And she's always when you put out this type of condition.
And this type of format.
Of course, she's almost dominated at the U.S. Open in recent years, at least getting to the TV show.
She was just saving it for when she needed it the most.
Well, she's making a good run here to solidify her spot as well.
Cassie makes the washout. She's fallen behind by 28 pins. 36 pins. Shannon has fallen behind a little bit in her match with Diana. A much more significant match for Shannon as she is in 6th place. The 30 bonus pins would have been huge this game. She still has a chance, but she has fallen behind a little bit here.
Leuthold, that's her third makeable spare miss. This is not a good time. Not that there ever is, but she is on the verge of a stepladder appearance.
Yeah, she's in the number by 28 pins coming into this game, and certainly looks like she'll probably drop out, depending on how this game finishes. Got a lot of folks nipping at the heels. Diana sends the pin across and powers the 10 out for the strike, and 5 in a row. It's impressive right there. Kelly Kulik working on a double. Packs all 10 back for a 3-bagger.
Diana rolled the 10 on her last shot, but leaves the 7-10 here in the 9th frame. And suddenly we have a match on 9 and 10. Felix rolling 4 in a row. She can get to the 250s. Standings very tight. 4th on down. Really 4th down to 13th place.
I think everybody likes to watch these finishes in round-robin match play, and it certainly looks like our position round might be something pretty special this evening. The way things are shaping up, we've still got one more game to go after this one before we get to the position round. But things looking like they might be pretty interesting in that final game.
Shot there from O'Keefe. She can finish with 218.
Forced Diana to mark.
Yeah, so it's definitely not over yet. Diana throwing the ball very well, however, this game.
We do know that Shannon is going to leapfrog Cassandra, though, after this game. Meanwhile, Wendy McPherson leading in her match by 9 pins against Alicia Current, heading into the 10th frame. And Wendy in 7th place coming into this game. Only 167 for Cassandra Leupold. Shannon strikes out for 218. Pretty solid game. Kelly Kulik trying to close this game out in style here. Sends the messenger, and it takes out the 10. That's a big hit for Kelly Kulik. That is 5 in a row for Kelly Kulik, and puts her in the 240s and a chance to get into the 250s with another strike. Here's Diana Zavialova, needs a mark to win the game against Shannon O'Keefe. Split last frame. Not this time around as she snaps the 10 out for the strike. And she's going to win this game, pick up the 30 bonus pins, and still be in great shape with 2 games to go. Double in the 10th for Diana. By the way, Wendy McPherson opened in the 10th for 199. It looks like she's going to lose that game. Well,
come on now.
As I say that, Alicia Current goes through the face in big 4s. So what do I know? Looks like Wendy might win that game, pick up the bonus pins. Kelly with another strike, close it out. 7 in a row to close out that game. 258-167. Kelly Kulik wins. That's a big, big win for Kelly Kulik. She was in 4th place coming into that game. Delivers a big game with the bonus pickup. Diana strikes out for 235. She wins by 17 against Shannon O'Keefe. One more game to go before the position round. You just feel the intensity level kind of ratcheting up a little bit in these last couple of games.
We got some familiar names in the chat room tonight. Zeke Bate checking in. Zeke, welcome. Dave Watka, of course. Watching closely at home.
Edge of his seat, I'm sure.
And he did point out that Shannon and Diana will be bowling each other. At this point, it looks like both of the next 2 games. They haven't met yet today. And then the position round.
And unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to see either of those games because our position round, we will show the 3, 4, and 5, 6 matchups, which typically would be the most compelling ones. Usually the top 2 players are in prime position to advance. So I'll show you the players who are battling to make the finals. Got Deandra Beatty against Shannon O'Keefe on 11 and 12. I'm not sure who we're going to have on 9 and 10 yet. We don't have any bowlers. I'm going to guess it's either Jody Wessner or Allie iJams because they're still finishing up their game down there. But it's hard to say. As soon as we get the updated standings, we'll let you know. Obviously, they can't give us updated standings till everybody's done with the game, so they're still finishing game 14 down there. As we have started game 15 here on 11 and 12. And a very awkward 7-8 for O'Keefe. covers it up. And how about that for some spare shooting right there? Then we're going to have Cassandra Lutholt on 9 and 10 for game 15, and she's going to bowl Jody Wessner. Double to start for Deandra.
Well, at this point, they're going to need every one of them. It's not going to be really about the bonus pins at this point. It's going to take a big score as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the latest standing sheet. Should be coming any minute here from John Lucido. It takes a minute after they finish the game for it to process, so it shouldn't be very long before it's updated. I think it is updated now. The scroller, and he just handed me the sheet. Shannon Plahowski leads Diana Zavialova by 10 pins for the top spot. Liz Johnson in third, and Liz is 245 pins off the lead. So a big gap there between first and third. And Kelly Kulik, fourth place. 68.57 for Kelly Kulik. She's 114 back of Liz. Fifth place is now Shannon O'Keefe at 67.56. Wendy McPherson in sixth place, 10 pins back. Cassandra Luthold is in seventh place, and she is 23 pins out of fifth. Danielle McEwen in eighth place, just 41 pins off the show. Deandra Asbeatty in ninth place, 63 pins off the show. Jody Wessner in 10th place, and she is 93 pins off the show. Alicia Current 94 pins off. Brittany Hamilton 95 pins off. So you get the idea. We've got a lot of people really close. Missy Parkin is less than 100 pins off the show, 99 pins. So we've got positions 5 through 13 within 100 pins of each other heading into the final two games. It's pretty incredible.
Well, it's time to see what they're made of here. We stayed in the hunt. This is game 7 of this block. And game 15 on the day. That all follows 18 games of qualifying, so it's been a long couple days. Five-bagger for Deandra, coming just in time. Shannon O'Keefe, though, only 10 pins back. Long-time Team USA teammates. O'Keefe not backing down. Keith's run ends at 4 there with the 10 pin. She's trying to hold on to that 5th spot. DeAndre trying to make the climb from 9th.
Try to get some more viewers to tune in, Matt, so I'm posting an update on our USBC Facebook page that has the photo of the standings along with the link to the live stream, so we can try to get some more people watching here. It's going to be a pretty exciting finish with just a couple of games to go here. Again, we've got a lot of players in the mix to make it into the stepladder finals. We're going to be doing a lot of math in the last game, I predict. Deandra coming up light, leaves the 2-8. Both Deandra and Shannon in the mix to make the stepladder. I think at this point we can pretty safely say that Shannon Plahowski and Diana Zavialova are going to be on the show. They are about 460 pins ahead of 6th place. Deandra leading Shannon by 9 pins in this match. Just tuning in, watching the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament here on Bold TV. Again, the standings posted on the USBC Facebook page, facebook.com/USBC. Facebook.com/USBC is where you can find the standings with 2 games to go. The position round will be coming up after this game ends. It's once again a really close race to see who is going to advance into the stepladder finals. We're pretty certain that Plahowski and Zavialova are going to be first and second in some capacity. Liz Johnson seeming pretty locked in with a better than 200 pin advantage on 6th. This is going to come down to the wire for the last couple of spots, it looks like. Just have to see how things finish up. And now, Asbady and O'Keefe are both bowling pretty decent games, trying to put themselves in position to battle for a spot in the stepladder finals, which are going to air live right here on Bold TV tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Noon Eastern right here on Bold TV. We'll have the finals for you of the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. Big shot for Shannon O'Keefe right there, as that gives her a double, and it also gives her the lead in the match by a couple of pins. Pin for Asbady. Can't stress enough how critical this Asbady-O'Keefe match is with bonus pins. Taking those up. Both those players right on the cusp. Cassie Luthold also right there near the number. Jody Wessner also somewhat close. Liz Johnson, spare, four-bagger, spare. So I'm thinking it's looking pretty good for her to make the finals. I think that for sure I think we're going to have at least 3 players who are locked in going into the last game, and we'll have to see what Kelly Kulik does. She's all the way down on the end. We can't really see her where we are. I don't see a lot of strikes on the board for her, so we could have as many as 2 spots up for grabs going into the last game. O'Keefe working on a double, leading by 3 pins, heading into the 9th and 10th frames here. She will have a chance to shut out as Beatty here, as Beatty can still shoot 256, but Shannon O'Keefe can strike out for 269. Great shot by the new McKendree women's bowling coach, Shannon O'Keefe. You know, this is such a big game by O'Keefe, it could create a little bit of separation from 5th to 6th. That's at some point, depending on how other people are bowling this game. We'll have to wait and see. Almost certainly it will be a big enough game that it will knock several people out of contention, would be my guess. Shannon O'Keefe, 10th frame. Trying to put this game away against Az Beatty. Gets the 10 to go, 4 in a row for O'Keefe, and that will put her in the 250s. And even with 9 spare here to close out the 10th, she would shoot 258, and that would be enough to shut out Az Beatty by a couple of sticks.
Looks like your plan is working. Pretty good numbers. Might get to that 1,000 you're hoping for.
Yeah, I hope so. Should certainly be over 1,000 tomorrow for the stepladder finals. See what O'Keefe does here on the second shot in the 10th. Leaves the 7, but 258 is a great game at this stage in the tournament with a game to go and a win, so plus 88 in one game is pretty huge, considering how tight the standings are going into the last 2 games. Shannon was about 100 pins behind Kelly Kulik going into this game. Kelly all the way down on the far end. Looks like Kelly's got 3 strikes in a row down there working. Deandra Beatty still can try to keep her hopes alive here. If she strikes out, 256 would be a big game. Leaves the 4 pin. Coming down to the close here, determining our 5 players for the stepladder finals. We've got the position round coming up after this game ends.
If you're a bowling fan, or especially a women's bowling, this is what it's all about. And perfect timing even. It's still early across the country here.
Yeah, it's a step. The position rounds and events like this to determine a stepladder field are always pretty exciting, and we'll have to see just how exciting it will be. As I'm sorry, O'Keefe put up a pretty big number there with the 258 sitting on the number at the on the bubble there. So 258 with the win could create a little bit of separation that wasn't there before, but we'll have to wait and see. We know that Wendy McPherson was in 6th place coming into this game. And Wendy is bowling Missy Parkin right now. And she is losing by 12 and has a max score of 227. Jody Wessner leading by 22.
A lot of these folks have been here all week long. Seen a lot of games.
Kind of a low-scoring game compared to the one that we just watched between Asbady and O'Keefe. Here between Wessner and Luthold.
See a lot of folks gonna be running around with their calculators here in a minute.
Yeah, the last game is going to be, we're going to have our pens and papers out, at least probably you will. You're better at math than I am. But trying to figure out these numbers and crunch it and see what we end up with here. We've got, again, the top 5 going to make the stepladder finals. Everybody winding down, and there'll be a brief break while they tally the scores, which doesn't take very long. It takes a little bit longer to manually assign the players to the proper lanes. Luthold had a pretty subpar game 14, and this one's not shaping up to be much better.
Well, every spot worth a different amount of money, so there's some incentive, some motivation even to finish strong. It's not much, $50 difference towards the bottom there, but they'll pay for a nice dinner when it's all over with.
Not a great shot from Jody. Leaves 6-10 in the 9th.
Diana was in position to win. She splits.
Yeah, they're still going to be pretty close.
Just 10 pins apart coming into this game, so Even the top seed will come down to the final game.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the final game for sure. I think Liz Johnson bowling 249 and winning. So Liz not going to catch the top two players, I don't think. It's not out of the question, I suppose. Mathematically, it's 230, 240 pins. It's quite a bit. But what Liz has done here is basically secured her spot for sure in the stepladder, and I think that Plahowski, Zavialova, and Johnson are all locked in at this point. We'll have to wait till we see the next group of standings heading into the position round, but based on what we're seeing, that's kind of what it looks like. Looks like Kelly Kulik shot 215. Oh, no, she's still bowling down there. My bad. That's Wendy McPherson who shot 215. Can't quite tell Kelly's score. It looks like she's going to win. I think she's going to be... It's hard to read. I think it's a 200 plus.
Well, Lucas Liz Johnson won the U.S. Open last year. Kelly Kulik the year before. Those two always in the mix. Liz actually beat Kelly for that title.
Cassie can still win this game. Strike out for 192 after Jody opened in the 10th. Ruth will try to hang in there in the 7th position. 2 games to go. Win here would be huge for Cassie, and she needs to strike again on this shot, second shot in the 10th. Needs a strike and then 7 pins on the fill to win the game and get the bonus pins. Gotta have it. And she gets it, slaps it out. She'll need 7 pins on her fill ball to get the win. I think Matt was going to update us on Diana Savialova. 182 for Diana, and Shannon Plahowski just needs a mark in the 10th to beat that.
Well, on this condition, just a mark.
That is true.
It is challenging. Shannon with a 10-pin lead coming into this game.
She almost split, but trips out the 6-8, it looked like, for the strike. And Shannon going to have the advantage going into the last game for the top seed.
So with the 30 bonus pins, she'll be up at least 50 pins.
So here's Cassie. Fill ball needs 7 to win the game. Crosses over, gets 9. That's enough to get the win. 191. A good save there for Luthold. She wins by 3 against Jody Wessner. Bad news for Cassie. She loses a lot of ground to Shannon O'Keefe, who is just above her. Also loses some ground, I think, to Wendy McPherson. Although I'm not sure if Wendy won or not. It's like just about everybody's done with this game. I see Allie Ijams finishing the 10th frame in her match. And then we'll have a short break as we get geared up for the final game. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We've got one more game to go here to determine our step-ladder finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a short break while we reassign the lanes of our position round status. We will start on lanes 3 and 4, 5 and 6, with teams 15 and 16. And so we'll start at 5 and 6 with positions 15 and 16, and then move across the center starting.
So don't go anywhere, stand by. Once again, they're putting the names in. And we should be getting started with our position round here in just a couple of minutes.
Alright, the players making their moves. We'll have the standings here momentarily. And then our final game to determine the stepladder finals here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting on lanes 5 and 6, and 15 and 16, commercial company, Alexis Highfield. On lanes 7 and 8, Chandler Husky versus Diana. On item 10, Liz Johnson versus Kevin Cooley. 11 and 12, Chandler Keith versus Linda Pearson. 15 and 16, Cassandra Luco versus Andrew Brady. 18 and 18 will be Alicia Curran versus Nathan Park and Chrissy Hudson. And 19 and 20 will be Neil McEwen versus Brittany Hamilton. And 21 and 22, Jody Westner versus Victoria West.
All right, got the standings here, and well, we know Shannon Plahowski, Diana Zavialova, Liz Johnson are all locked into the show. Fourth place is Kelly Kulik at 70.89. Fifth place is Shannon O'Keefe at 70.44. Sixth place is Wendy McPherson at 69.61. So that is a pretty sizable gap between 5th and 6th that developed that last game. It's more than 80 pins, Matt, from 5th to 6th. So that's a pretty good margin. And so that's going to be the match to watch, I think, would be Shannon O'Keefe and Wendy McPherson here this game. Cassandra Luthold is 90 pins out of the number. And Deandra Asbeatty is 115 pins outside of the cut. You can see the score scrolling. Well, they will be updated here. I'm going to give them 2 minutes of practice, not a minute quicker or longer. They are getting warmed up here for our final game of the night. So again, going into our position round, we got Shannon O'Keefe at 70-44 in 5th place, and in 6th place, Wendy McPherson at 69-61. Matt, I don't know if you'd like to see the standing sheet here, if you need to write down any numbers or anything. You can do your analysis if you wish. Get that standing sheet posted again for you on the USBC Facebook page here in just a moment.
Ladies, at this time, please set up on your practice. Your practice session is now over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The top 5 will advance to tomorrow's stepladder finals to the webcast on Bull TV. Once again, it is 30 pins for a win, 15 for a tie, 0 for a loss. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are now coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause? It's the Welcome Division Round Finals. Ladies, good luck and good bowling.
All right, just getting those standings posted for you on the USBC Facebook page. And you can check those out now at facebook.com/USBC. Again, the top 5 do advance to the stepladder finals. Kick things off here. Shannon O'Keefe with a spare. '83 pin advantage for O'Keefe over McPherson coming into this game. And Kelly Kulik in 4th place over 6th place McPherson by 128 pins. So really, Kelly needs to bowl about 180 this game to lock herself in for sure. And now with Wendy leaving a single pin, that number drops down even a little bit further. So sure seems like, Matt, and I don't know if you want to agree or disagree with me, that Plahowski, Zavialova, Johnson, and Kulik are looking pretty solid to make it, although Kulik's a little closer to the number than the rest.
Yeah, I say our top 3 are pretty set right now. It's just, at least on the top 2, what order. Diana 48 pins back. Shannon right now, so she'll have to essentially win by 19 to earn that top seed.
And again, Kulik's 128 pins ahead of the number coming into this last game. So it's a pretty decent cushion. But there's 30 pins bonus out there, but even then, that's almost 100 pins she's got up on Wendy McPherson.
Well, we've seen crazy things happen. We've been in this business long enough. So far, no strikes anywhere near us.
Yeah. They even got a couple of minutes of practice. So really, Wendy McPherson, in order to make the show, needs to bowl a huge game. I think that's pretty obvious at this point.
Yes.
She's down 83 pins against Shannon, and so 30 bonus pins. Let's assume 30 bonus pins for a win. She would need to beat Shannon by 54 pins.
Well, and don't forget Cassandra is still just 7 pins behind Wendy, so we're not going to count her out. Neither Deandra as well. I mean, it's just, it could go so many ways here, but I think at this point, Kelly and Shannon O'Keefe can seal their own fate, just bowling decent games here.
Fortunately, I think the most compelling match in the building right now is on our featured pair between between Wendy and Shannon. So we will certainly keep an eye on the players that are behind them to see what happens.
Don't forget too, Shannon just bowled 250 on this pair.
That's exactly right.
Happened to get the draw that she got to stay on the pair, so.
Yeah, it's an astute observation there, Mr. Cannizzaro. Just, luck of the draw, she just happens to finish on that same pair that she bowled her last game on, and bowled 250 and looked really solid against Asbady.
Of course, we're going to do some quick math here as things wrap up shortly, but it will be completely unofficial.
That's correct.
Because, I mean, we're not that smart anyway, so but we'll do our best.
Polhowski leading for the top seed by 48 pins against Zavialova. There's really no way Johnson can get the top seed. Liz is kind of locked into that number 3 spot. Remember, the stepladder final is going to take place tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. local time here in Rockford at the Cherry Bowl, right here on Bowl TV. Every shot critical for Wendy McPherson here. She leaves the 4-7. Liz Johnson working on a strike. Leaves the 7-pin. It's been a great week so far here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament, and it's come down to one final game in round-robin match play. Game number 34 overall for these players since Monday. A real grind and a test of their abilities here this week on a very tough lane condition. Scores pretty low all week long. And we're just moments away from determining our 5 stepladder finalists.
Right now, the players who absolutely need to strike aren't. So it might end up not being as dramatic as we had anticipated.
Yeah, it's wow, that's a brutal 8-pin for Wendy Mac. Makes the math a little bit easier, for sure, but especially if Shannon bowls another big game, that kind of makes it even easier to figure out, because she just got done shooting 250. It was very close going into game 15, and then Shannon O'Keefe shot 250 and 1 and put some distance between herself and the rest of the contenders for that last spot in the stepladder.
Nice break to her left for Zavialova. Knocks the 7 into the 4. Keep her hopes alive for that top seed. Shannon O'Keefe on lane 12, looking for 3 in a row here.
Shannon puts it in the pocket, leaves the flat 10. She's up by 10 in the match. This is all good news for Shannon, even though she leaves the flat 10 there. Wendy really needs to bowl a big game to jump around her, and it's just not happening so far.
Husky misses a single pin. You can never tell when she lets it go. She never looks thrilled either way, and certainly not there.
Diana needs to beat her by 19 pins this game to take the top seed. And right now Diana leads by 2 because both players have missed single pins this game. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's off camera, of course. But we will let you know how that plays out. We'll let you know our 5 finalists here before we go off the air for sure.
How would you like to bowl 34 games under brutal conditions and have something like that come down to a single pin spare?
It's amazing how those things work. I don't see Cassandra Lutholt really doing a whole lot down there. 5 frames in, she's no doubles. So unfortunately, I think that we might have to start to count her out a little bit. No doubles in 5 frames. Makes it awfully hard to overcome a 90-pin deficit against Shannon O'Keefe, who already has a double this game.
Well, Lucas at the top of the standings, a single pin could be a $2,000 single pin, perhaps. If you are the #1 seed, you're guaranteed at least $8,000, 15th to the winner. 3rd place only pays $6,000.
Diana just left a blowout 7-10 split off to the left of our featured pair here. Wendy McPherson still trailing by 10 in a match that she needs to win by 54 pins.
So Lucas, at this point, Shannon could go around Kelly and it wouldn't matter. They're bowling each other. It would just be at that point for lane choice.
Wendy with a double. Still not mathematically out of it, but it's the longer we go in this game, the harder the scenarios are to figure out, find a way for Wendy to make the top 5. Especially if Shannon steps up and throws a couple of strikes here in the 6th and the 7th frames. She's going to be in real solid shape. It's a great shot. Shannon O'Keefe, double on the board, still leading by 10 in the match. So we don't know what order the players are going to be in yet for the step ladder, but the picture gets clearer and clearer by the minute. Shannon O'Keefe working on a double, 7th frame. Liked that one off her hand and punches all 10 back for a triple. Shannon O'Keefe in the driver's seat here, up 20 on Wendy McPherson. And really, when you think about it, up 74 pins on making the show.
All right, the step ladder is going to be on 9 and 10. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, I bet Shannon O'Keefe's kind of wishing maybe
Yeah.
11 and 12, but so far through 5 frames, just 1 strike on 9 and 10 between Kelly and Liz.
Wendy McPherson also working on a double. Punches all 10 back as well. 3 in a row for her. Pulls it back to within 10, but she might as well be down 64 at this rate. Shannon Pluhowski leading Diana Zavialova by 20 with 4 frames to go. And again, Zavialova needs to beat Pluhowski by 19 pins to get the top seed. Puchowski just threw her third consecutive strike.
The only left-hander in the top 16. Yeah.
You know, Deandra's got a chance to shoot 279 and win this game, but she's down 115 pins to O'Keefe, and Shannon bowling a pretty solid game here. So I don't see how. I mean, I guess it is possible. I think that Deandra would need to go around Wendy and Shannon. She would need Wendy to beat Shannon, but none of those scenarios really matter, I don't think. Especially if Shannon throws another strike or two here. The way Shannon's bowling, it's looking pretty good. O'Keefe nails another strike for 4 in a row. Shannon's going at a 229 pace, which would be more than enough. But it's not over yet. My gut tells me Puchowski's probably going to take the top seed, as Diana just spared in the 7th. Big shot here for O'Keefe. 9th frame. Pulled it. Does not get the hold, but breaks up a potential split and leaves the 6-10. That could have been way worse. Would have had to get our calculators out there if she'd have left a split for sure. Wendy can shoot 259 this game. And that would put the magic number for Shannon at 206, I think, something like that. And Shannon already at 207 without throwing another ball. So I think that Shannon has shut out Wendy. And she shut out Deandra, even though Deandra can shoot 279.
Well, Deandra working on a few extra bucks here. And in that area, the 6 through 10 range, it kind of climbs by $250 increments. So essentially, almost will pay next year's entry. Wendy Mack, almost the Greek church, and she'll be donezo, as they say.
Yep.
Deandra still striking, coming on strong here at the finish.
She could hop around Wendy. Deandra could hop up a couple of spots here, it looks like, and finish 6th. Puchowski just threw another strike for 4 in a row. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, our live coverage of the BPAA Women's All-Star Stepladder Finals here on Bowl TV. We will be posting the link on Facebook and Twitter, so be sure to check for that tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central here at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. You will only find the finals right here on Bowl TV. Shannon Puchowski just struck in the 9th 5 in a row, and she's going to be your top seed. Diana Tavialova is going to be 2nd. Liz Johnson is going to be 3rd. Deandra Beatty strikes out for 279, but unfortunately just a little bit too far back.
Yeah, she can get up to 6th here.
Because even if Shannon opens, she's 220, 225 if she goes 9 out. And Shannon's going to win, so.
Yeah, Shannon's plus this game. She would have to be minus for Deandra to have a chance.
Yep. Minus and lose. Can Shannon go around Kelly for the number 4 spot? Not that it matters. I believe that she can.
Yeah, it's only a 45 pin difference.
Well, right now Kelly's winning by 10. 3 frames to go. hopefully they will announce the 5 stepladder finalists so we can take a look at them here, get a picture after they earn their spots in the stepladder finals. Once again, we'll air tomorrow here on Bowl TV at noon Eastern Time. Shannon O'Keefe finishing it out here. Kicks the 4 out for the strike. Lindsay Siegel sending me a message saying, great job, guys. Thank you very much, Lindsay. Lindsay, good to see you this week. Thanks for watching us. You know, Matt, I always get stressed out when we get into situations like this, having to figure out the numbers, but it ended up being not too hard to sort out. The 5 going into the last game end up being the 5 who make the show. Another strike for Shannon O'Keefe that puts her in the 240s. And she was 45 pins behind Kelly, I believe. And Shannon's going to shoot 247 and win. Kelly still can stay ahead of her, looks like. Still finalizing our finishing positions, but Shannon O'Keefe is on the show with a clutch 247 here in the final game. She goes 250, 240 in her last 2 games to lock up her spot in the finals. Kelly Kulik with a strike in the 9th. She leads by 10 against Liz Johnson here this game. And we'll see if she stays ahead of Shannon O'Keefe. What's she need, Matt? Do you know? Figure that out real quick as she enters the 10th frame. It's 45 pins. Let's assume both players win. That means that Kelly would need 203. 203 and a win. If Kelly loses this game, I think that Shannon will go around her for sure. So let's see here what Kelly does in the final frame. Leaves a 10 pin.
Kelly just finished as the runner-up at the Queens. And it was a 10 pin that was her downfall there.
So if Kelly picks the spare up, and let's say she gets 9 on the fill for 204, and Liz Johnson strikes out for 205 to beat her by 1, then I think Shannon would go around her. But again, it doesn't really matter if you're 4th or 5th. It just is lane choice, basically, in the step ladder.
One more game. I just need one more game.
Deandra says, just one more game. She shot 279 that last game. Kelly Kulik getting ready to come into the approach on the left side of your screen here for her fill ball. She gets 9, so 204.
All the drama.
My prognostication may come right here. Liz Johnson needs 3 in the 10th to win the match by a pin. Liz gets the first one. So if Liz Johnson punches out here, she'll shoot 205 and win the 30 bonus pins. And that means that Shannon O'Keefe will be number 4. Have I got that right, Matt? You figured all that out over there. You're feverishly writing down things on your paper.
I am feverish.
Another strike for Liz.
Unofficially. Big shot here. Then we'll start doing what we do. Just make sure everything's in place here. Nothing like taking a picture without the card in the camera.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our stepladder finals at noon Eastern time. Liz punches out for 205. She wins the match against Kelly by a pin. That might be the final ball right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes qualifying for the BPAA All-Star Tournament. Top 5 will advance to tomorrow's webcast on BullTV.com. We'll have those results, official results, for you momentarily.
So unofficially, we've got Shannon Pluhowski, your top seed, Diana Zavialova, the number 2 seed, Liz Johnson, the number 3 seed. We've got Shannon O'Keefe, the number 4 seed, and Kelly Kulik, the 5th seed. Andres Beatty finishes as the first one out at number 6. And Matt's going to sign out and go get some quotes and pictures as we will wrap things up here on Bull TV this evening. Stepladder finals coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Just waiting to hear the official announcement of the standings, even though we know the final position.
Easy pass.
Young lady, I'm sorry. Hey, I apologize. 1 second, Sharon. She gets distracted. I'm sorry, girl.
We will talk tomorrow.
Okay.
It really is. My toes on.
Okay.
I got a $48 easy pass.
I can give you $15 for gas.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, official results. Your high qualifier after 16 games of round robin and 18 games of qualifying with a score of 77-13, Shannon Pluhowski. Second, Diana Zavialova with a score of 75-64. And third, Liz Johnson with 74-85. And fourth, Shannon O'Keefe with 73-21. And rounding out the top five with a score of 72-93, Kelly Kulik.
So there's your finalists
Finishing in sixth,
for match play, or from match play for the stepladder finals. Our top seed, Shannon Pluhowski. Number 2 seed, Diana Zavialova. Liz Johnson, your number 3 seed. Shannon O'Keefe, the number 4 seed. And Kelly Kulik, the number 5 seed. As we wrap things up here, live on Bull TV, we'll see you back here tomorrow at noon Eastern time for the stepladder finals featuring those 5 boulders. I'm Lucas Wiseman from Matt Cannizzaro. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again all day today. We will be back on the air tomorrow at noon Eastern time with the stepladder finals here on Bull TV. Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Congratulations.